Hi, Cliff. Welcome to Sharing for Good. Thanks for being for us. Can you tell us something about you? How did you start getting involved in the social sector?
Oh, okay. So I'm Cliff and I run UnLtd in the UK, a model that's being replicated around the world. And I've been running it for now 7.5 years. And before that I was running civil society organisations, health, mental health, social housing, offender rehabilitation, all sorts of different sectors. And off the side of that I was creating my own social ventures, sort of spare time projects. So 8 years ago when I just opened the newspaper and there was the advert for the job and that was my job. Nobody else was getting this job. So and it's the best job I've ever had by a mile.
Oh, fantastic. So can you tell us a bit more about UnLtd and how UnLtd evolved along the years you became the CEO?
Sure. So UnLtd is the foundation for social entrepreneurs. We back absolute startups and we back people rather than projects. The core idea is somebody who's passionate to solve a social problem. They think they've got a solution to that problem and they've got the sort of entrepreneurial character set. They're determined, resilient, resourceful. They won't give up. They will make it happen. We're not about ideas. We're about real delivery. And we back about 1,500 people a year in the UK now in what we see as the first 3 steps in the social entrepreneur's journey. So those steps would be from thinking about it to doing it. So you do your market test. That works. So you think, okay, I'm going to go from doing it to doing it full time. This is a big psychological step because maybe you have a job, you're giving up that job, you're going to be reliant on this venture to live. So it's a big, big step. And then the third step from doing it full time to taking it beyond just you, building a team, taking an inward investor, whatever it might be. And those 3 steps are where we work. And essentially we're the bank of mum and dad for people who haven't got one. Seed funds, very small amounts of money, the confidence, skills and connections that you need to get started and thrive. So, if you've got a professional family, they've got some money in the bank, but they've also got a confidence about doing business. They've got some skills, dad's an accountant and others doing this and what have you. And they probably have some connections. What we're after is we're trying to make it possible for talent wherever it comes from, even the most disadvantaged backgrounds, to get started, climbing that ladder of success and get going. So we initially we just did this direct ourselves, and then we realized there's far more people interested than we can possibly support. So we decided, okay, first of all we'd work through partners, and we've now got, for example, half the universities in England doing the UnLtd model, colleges, schools, community organisations, even local government. And then we're taking it even further with what we call viral methods, so experienced social entrepreneurs who are prepared to help out new social entrepreneurs. Maybe they form a little club in their town, peer-to-peer, very little money, but just that sort of support, and maybe even get into mainstream education systems too. So that's where we are in the UK. And as I mentioned, it's been replicated in quite a few other countries now.
Right. Okay. In terms of your portfolio of venture you've been supporting in the UK, it's like more for profit, not for profit, balanced approach.
Yeah. I should mention this is a pretty tough process. So let's say this year about 1,300 people will get to that first step, but only maybe 150 will get to the second step. Maybe only 50 will get to the third step. Because a lot of people, they can become a social entrepreneur, sole trader, some micro company, some look like they can go big, but it's pretty tough selection along the way. At the starter stage, a lot of people are looking at non-profit methods. By the time you come to the third stage, it's more than half now are profit distributing. They've got a commercial base whilst also being locked into social mission. And this has been a trend over the last few years in the UK of people saying, look, I know my model works. I know there's a huge need out there. I need to get out there fast. The only way to get out there fast is to have an equity investor, an angel investor to back me. I can't do that if I'm doing a non-profit model. So people are really driven by ambition to achieve bigger social impact, to go down the more for-profit path.
All right. Okay. And can you tell us something about the effort of UnLtd to set up a sort of global network of unlimited?
Well, this happened because people in other countries wanted to do it and saw the model and thought, well, that could work here. And the initial Ireland, India, then Thailand, then South Africa, what we had no money to support them to do it, but we had the methodology, we had the skill set, and we could demonstrate that it worked. We had research evidence, so we could evidence the impact, and we could build some credibility with the funders in the local country. So those worked, and those four, it took, I think, 8-9 years to get those four established. And just in the last few years, there's been a huge wave of interest. So when I was here at AVPN last year, there were just 2 UnLtd in Asia, India and Thailand. There are now 8. And there's another dozen organizations, not on the UnLtd model exactly, but similar work, startup social entrepreneurs. We've got 36 in the membership of a global learning network. We're not trying to build an empire, we're not trying to do a franchise, because we think that, particularly at this startup stage, every country needs to adapt the model. The circumstances are very different. Take Hong Kong. Space is at a real premium. So you really need a co-working space. In the UK, space is easy. Only 4% of our social entrepreneurs say they want a co-working space. It's really different, cultural differences. The parental pressure in China because of the one-child policy. All sorts of differences. So we say, okay, here's the starter model, but adapt it. And as you adapt it, you create new innovations. Share those innovations back with the network, and we all learn more. And this, we call it GSEN, the Global Social Entrepreneurship Network, is all about that. It's about us assisting each other, continuous learning, continuous improvement across the world.
Okay.